Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Lance and Katie, good to see both of you. Happy Monday. Lance settling in his new job. Katie's back in town, so the band is all here. Hey, we love your questions, and I think you all know the drill on that. We have a couple of topics. Before I get into that, let's talk. I don't think we have it on the script, Katie, but with respect to the things we're tracking, 504 refinance, a little bit more PPP forgiveness. None of that has happened, right, Katie?
Right. We're still waiting on a lot of things. 504 is definitely an exciting thing a lot of people are waiting for, and we're following that. As soon as that comes out, we are going to launch a webinar on it. And as far as the other things go, I think it's just going to end up coming out in probably a SBA, just a quick little newsletter or something like that. But we are expecting more guidance on how forgiveness process is going to work and some more logistical issues there. So we're still waiting on those things.
Lance, have you shaken the tree with your sources inside the agency?
Yes.
And what are they telling you? Are they telling you shut up, or are they telling you what's going on?
No, the response I'm getting is they know about as much as we do in terms of when coming out. So it's going to be sooner than later. I just don't know exactly when.
Well, that's a way to go out on a limb on that one, Lance.
Big stretch.
What percentage of restaurant workers feel financially secure? See, we got 55% say 0 to 20, 33 to 50 say 10%, over 50% or 2%, you were right on that. 20 to 33% say 33%. Katie, what's the answer?
So you kind of did this backwards than what I was expecting. I thought you were going to say how many feel financially insecure, but I guess based
blame
on
Joseph.
Netspin.
We haven't blamed Joseph in a while. Blame Joseph.
No, it's okay. Based on Netspin's most recent data, it's looking like around 40% feel insecure right now, which is definitely not good because that causes a lot of other problems that we'll go into in a few slides.
One of the tips, I know, Lance, you have a little run of restaurants. We've been doing going through a lot of papers. One of the tips that they're telling restaurants is on tip income, pay them that day. That seems to be important to the workers.
Well, absolutely, Bob. And a lot of the restaurants that I've been associated with, now I've not actually been owner, but my family's owned one, and I've done quite a number of restaurant loans and had some knowledge of that. If you do daily tip reconciliation, that helps them feel a little better.
Yeah, don't mess with other people's money. I agree with that. Just and they also, the restaurant workers say that's an important thing. Why did I bring that up? Obtaining workers, keeping workers has always been a challenge for restaurants. They're close to 100% turnover anyway due to the nature of the beast. But there are certain things your borrowers can do to remedy that situation. Obviously, we all know restaurants where there's been long-time employees, and it's interesting on why they're comfortable and others have to move from job to job to job. That's going to be employee retention is going to be huge, not only for restaurants, for banks, for lenders, and for everyone else.
Well, Bob, I have one child that still works in the restaurant industry, and she's a general manager of a restaurant, a small, local, been around for 60-year restaurant, and she is able to attract high-quality workers because some of the national franchise chain restaurants are messing around with the tips.
Yeah, don't mess around with other people's money. Absolutely.
And she says it's easy to get them to come across because, they reconcile daily.
Katie, speaking of restaurants, the program is sunsetting tonight. I read something, though, that the administrators made a comment that there's still billions of dollars of aid or grants available. Well, let's take first things first. So restaurant revitalization, do we have final numbers on that, or is SBA?
No, there's no update on that. I did check their website. They are still accepting applications as of right now. So that is still available to people if they need it. And the nice thing, just a reminder, is that for this particular program, they don't need the SAM, they don't need the DUNS, so they can go ahead and apply right away for this one.
Good.
But they do need to hurry because as of 8 p.m. it's supposed to close. I don't know as far as funds go, if there's funds left. I would be surprised if there's not funds left. So it's probably not going to run out, but it does look like they're probably sunsetting this a little early so we don't have the mad rush like we did with PPP.
Well, I think if someone's you get a call today at 1 o'clock Eastern and say, hey, what do I do? That's probably not a go, right, Lance?
Probably. Well, they might still, not having to get a DUNS number, not having to run the SAM report, possibly. I'm just surprised, Bob, because we all talked about this. I thought the money would be gone quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's PPP already took care of a lot of the restaurants, or I'm not sure what it is.
As an aside, I know there's litigation. SBA is being sued by guess who, Lance? Strip clubs.
Oh, goodness gracious.
They got the first round of PPP, but they've been...
denied the second round.
Right. No, so because they sued on the first round, they got it.
Yeah, I was confused by that, Bob, because we already been through this on the first round, and SBA had to back up and say, okay, you get.
Yeah, but the second round they said no. So and the guy says, hey, we have employees. All right, that's. Moving on. What are the top challenges for restaurants?
Yes, this comes from NetSpend.
There we go. Oh, these are the top challenges for restaurants. Go ahead.
Yeah, this comes from NetSpend, and we already discussed it a little bit as far as cash shortages go. That goes hand in hand with the tips issue because you've got a lot of people paying for their food through apps and online and then picking up their order. And even if they do buy in store, they're a lot of times using credit cards, meaning a lot of businesses, especially restaurants, do not have cash on hand to pay their employees tips in a timely manner. And when that happens, you see a larger amount of employees feeling financially stressed, which tends to lead toward them not showing up for work, which is a big issue for especially restaurants. That equates to about a 15% loss in profits each year for each restaurant due to employees not showing up for their hours. So that is a huge concern and something that needs to be addressed. And like we said before, financial security is a huge issue here relating to all three of these issues, really. 3 out of 5 hourly workers feel financially insecure, and that's going to be coming from not being able to get their tips on time. Also, just a lot of them don't have access to online banking and things like that as well. So what they're saying and what some restaurants have started doing is they've started doing online automatic payments toward their employees' tips, or providing a prepaid card of some sort that they can load at the end of the day to allow them to get their tips right away.
Number 2, are business meals tax deductible 100% this tax year and next tax year? And we just asked for this year. The answer is yes, Lance. Katie, that was it. Pardon?
Well, I think an important element for the restaurant business, Bob and Katie, is for business travel to come back because that's a source of a lot of revenue for restaurants across the United States, and we need business travel to at least get back close to where it was pre-pandemic.
I'd read an article that said 1/3 of California restaurants are closed permanently, but we need to put that into context. At least 10% close each year, so that we're already at 20%. I'll look in that a little bit more. So yeah, Just so when you see that 1/3, that's a huge number, but part of that would have been market forces anyway, Katie.
Absolutely. You're also seeing a lot of businesses pop up where some had to close. And just looking around town, I'm not seeing nearly as many closed businesses as I did before. So I think you're looking at how many closed, but how many opened, that's going to offset it a little bit.
What percentage of small business owners expect revenues to increase this? Katie, this came from your Main Street Monday. We cited the Bank of America 2021 small business owner, what do they call it? The small business owner report. 60% say 43%, and they are correct, right, Katie?
They are. They probably read my article because I'm pretty sure that was the headline.
We have to throw softballs out there every now and then. And here it is.
Yeah, this is actually the local economy one, but we also have one that's on specifically their personal revenue as well. Local economy, they do a fall report and a spring report. And based in the fall, we were kind of down a bit at 39%, expecting the economy to improve in the next 12 months. Now we're back up to 56%, and looking across this chart, we haven't been there since 2018. So that's actually a great improvement, and hopefully that will continue.
Go to the next slide, Joe.
So we don't have a slide on national economy, but that's going to be pretty much the same as well. It's up to 50% from 37%. And here's the revenue for small businesses. It is all going up. This one's much sharper, up from 34% last fall. So definitely an improvement there.
Yeah.
Lance, go ahead.
I'm just impressed with the numbers, Bob. Of course, we had a tough year last year, and most will expect an increase this year. But I'm excited about the optimism that they're showing.
Yeah, again, the environment's much different. The demand, and then 2008, the demand is here, the pent-up consumer demand, both for traveling and for eating out and for getting out, and the consumer demand is there, absolutely. What are we learning from this chart, Katie?
Yeah, so this is essentially gearing up, figuring out financial situation and optimism. And you're seeing 39% of small business owners say that they feel like their financial situation is strong right now. And 54% say it's fair. They were also using the word average there, so don't think of fair as bad necessarily. So it does look like really only you've got the 7% saying they're really struggling right now.
Lance, you could put 2018 on those numbers. We don't have the numbers, and you wouldn't be shocked. So I think those numbers are in line historically. Would you agree with that, Lance? They
are very encouraging, Bob, and look like pre-pandemic numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what do we have here? This is more stats. Go ahead, Katie. I'll let you read them for those who are visually challenged.
Yeah, well, we've also got no title on this one because I couldn't fit it in there. But these are the top 4 issues that small businesses listed as issues that they're struggling with right now. And they've broken it down. So the blue bar is spring 2020. The dark blue is fall 2020. And then the reddish pink color is spring 2021. You are seeing the U.S. political environment being less of an issue now than it was in fall. Of course, this was taken before the election, so everybody was kind of heated there. But that still is the number 1 concern that was highlighted by small business owners. Healthcare costs was the second highest, 64% in the most recent. Not up too much higher than it was in fall, but still pretty high historically. Commodity prices is way up. That is a huge concern. I was just reading about how restaurants are seeing a huge increase in menu prices, unfortunately, due to the cost of their products.
My math, if my stats are right, that's almost a 50% increase
Yeah,
2000.
it's a massive increase right now, and that's going to be probably a larger concern moving forward in 2021. I expect that to continue being a large concern. And then finally, they've been tracking the coronavirus pandemic, and that issue is slowly starting to be less of an issue.
Well, let's see, I have a couple comments. Number one, only 75% in fall of 2020 said that was an issue, which is, I don't know where the other 25% were. Sleeping. Lance, the increase in commodity prices, is that a one-off? Is that signaling inflation? Is that just demand is outstripping supply?
Yeah, it's inflation, Bob, but it's touching a lot of different areas, and it's not just inflationary around fuel prices. I mean, fuel prices have a huge impact on the price of products and services that small businesses rely upon. But it's like, well, an example, Katie's talking about the restaurant industry. They're paying more for tomatoes, lettuce, various
Labor,
but various products that have to be shipped in. Anything that has lumber in it. My brother's, everybody knows he's in the furniture business, but the price of furniture is going up because it takes wood to build most furniture. So, I mean, the inflation in the fuel prices and the price of wood and the price of various raw materials are affecting small businesses. It's affecting the price of housing and a variety of other things.
Katie, difference between PPP 1 and 2, what's the main difference that this chart shows us?
I mean, I think we're still probably waiting to hear how much the second round is.
Slide, Joseph, please. There, nope, I skipped that one. Go one more. There we go. That's what I want to look at.
There. Yeah, so the difference here that ABA has pulled out data specifically looking at round 1 and 2, and as far as who it's reaching, the big difference is that you've got the second round reaching a significantly larger number of businesses with 10 employees or fewer. So that is what this chart is looking at. They do a great job about every week or two. They pull the data and turn it into a chart. So this is their this particular week's data.
So one employee, looks like, if my math is right, what's about 2/3 have gone to one employee, right?
Yeah, it's definitely going to much smaller businesses, which is what the intent was. They definitely wanted to help, especially this current round. They wanted to focus on those micro businesses, the ones that are, maybe 1-2 employees. So it is definitely focused now, and it's going toward the people who they did intend it for.
Katie, SBA hasn't posted the numbers, have they, this week? We're still working on
No,
numbers.
they haven't. They're still,
So we don't know how much
probably
left.
get them later today.
Yeah. Those numbers shock you, Lance? Go back.
Not at all, Bob. There was a huge push for Schedule C, sole proprietor, independent contractors in this round.
And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that.
So, I mean, if that's where Congress wanted the money to go, it went there.
That's where it went.
It worked.
And good job all around. Good job for the agency writing the rules. Good job for the lenders doing the logistics on it. Obviously,
another thing, Bob, is all the big PPP borrowers are terrified that they're going to end up on the front page of the paper.
Fraud Friday. Yeah, no, we know. Yeah.
They don't want to be in Katie's Friday report.
And good job for the lenders. I know that the fee income on these sole proprietorship loans is much lower than on the larger ones, but good for the lenders to embrace that and get that out.
That's also another. I'm sorry, Bob. That's also another reason the small loans were more significant in this round, because the fee structure was better on the small deals than it was in the previous round.
Right. Wednesday, we're having our restaurant webinar. These are some of the bullet points that we're putting together. Lance and I are going to do that. And Joseph, you may advance a slide.
Well,
Joseph,
Bob,
I think he's having internet issues now. Here, go ahead, Lance.
well, I tell people this every time we talk about the restaurant webinar. It's a great series, but the data, the information you receive is worth the price of admission. And if you're going to underwrite restaurant opportunities in 2021, you need to participate.
Yeah, we break out the top 25 franchises for restaurants. We break out all the data. We put that in comparison, but also all the trends that you need to look at as a lender.
Bob, in 2019,
We predicted a lot
you
of
and I
this.
sat here and we talked about trends in the restaurant industry, and I realized the pandemic, threw a little fuel on the fire, but many of those trends are now commonplace.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. All right. Well, very, very good. Lance and Katie, thank you so much for joining us. I think Joseph, the gremlins ate his internet wire. So we'll see you all tomorrow. And thank you for joining us today for Come Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.